All righty, we are back and we are ready to go with another exciting episode of the top 100 board games of all time, the best of the best here. And we're doing number 60 down to number 51. So this will be our fifth episode. So we'll be halfway done with this. And of course, always joining me, my good friend and comrade Ray and Mr. Personality himself, Phoenixknight, is here to do it with me.
Well, hopefully I won't put everybody to sleep tonight with my charm, wit, and sparkling personality.
You gotta appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. You gotta appreciate you, man. You're a great guy. You do a lot of really good stuff, and not everyone is Mr. Bubbly Frank Sinatra. We're all different. We all have our own quirks. I'm a little quirky myself. I admit it.
Well,
So,
we're all quirky in the grand scheme of things.
but the most important thing is you are enjoying what you're doing. You're having fun, and you're sharing it with people. A lot of people do it, and they don't share with anyone. So, I mean, having the personality to come out and talk about it. You have a cooking show you do. You have Pinot with Phoenix every month where you review everything you've done for the month. This just doesn't happen by accident, my friend. You got to pat yourself on the back once in a while.
Well, I think I patted myself on the back about 3 years ago, so I should be good for another millennium.
Okay. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll give everyone a chance to join. We'll talk about what we did last week really quickly, and then we'll just pick it up and start with this week. So, my number 70 from last week, in case you missed that show, was Just a Robin Hood by GMT. It was new to my list.
My number 70, I'm expecting to be a crossover Sentinels of the Multiverse.
Probably. My number 69 was Glory Days Boxing.
My number 69 is a crossover second season football by Play Games.
My number 68 was one of the greatest games ever created to get people into board gaming, Ticket to Ride.
My number 68 is one of my new games in that section, Face to the Mat Pro Wrestling by Play Games.
My number 67 is a new game to the list, came out in 2025, Finspan.
My number 67, another new game to the list, Horrified World of Monsters by Ravensburger.
And I actually looked at that this week again, after the show again.
Probably still didn't order it, though.
I still didn't order it. My number 66 is a James Bond game with a deep thematic feel to it called Agents of Smersh.
My number 66 is another crossover, G.I. Joe the deck building game.
My number 65, I predict, will be a crossover game. It was Hit the Road.
My number 65 is Down 31 Spots, Fate of the Elder Gods by Greater Than Games.
My number 64 was my 2004, so 2 years ago, my game to learn, which was Apiary. Great game.
Wouldn't 2 years ago have been 2024, not 2004?
That's what I meant to say, 2024.
Yes. Because I graduated from high school in 2004, over 20 years ago. God, I feel old.
2024, yes.
My number 64 game, Return to Dark Tower by Restoration Games.
My number 63 is, again, a baseball game that I think you would really like if you spend a little bit of time with it, Status Pro Baseball.
Well, I'm picky about my baseball. Number 63, Dungeon Crafter and Super Boss Monster by Brotherwise Games.
My number 62 is a game we talked about in the green room, which you're going to be probably calling a little bit in your collection this year, Appa Golf.
My number 62, Foundations of Rome by Arcane Wonders.
And if the price was right, I would get that one.
Well, the price is most likely not right for that one.
And my number 61, last one from last week, was a great engine building game called Raising Robots.
My number 61 takes us to the Star Wars world for Star Wars the Deck Building game by Fantasy Flight.
We had some great, really, really great games, I think, and I'm very excited. I've had nothing but positive feedback from everyone about, watching this show and hearing us banter about the games and talking about them. So far, everyone seemed to like it. If you do guys enjoy this, leave a comment down below so we can share your comments. And if there's something that we talk about that you really, really like, we would like to know that as well. Interacting with our communities and giving people's feedback is what we like to do here on the channel.
And if you're awake while I'm talking, we'll take comments on that too.
Well, I think it's your week to start early this week.
It is.
To start the show off this week. So
In
let
that
me
case,
share here.
In that case, I will take it away. My number 60 game is actually down 40 spots, but remember what I've said in the past about some of the big incidental moves being because a lot of games are getting added to the list, both above and below previous spots. My number 60 takes us back to the Star Wars world by Fantasy Flight once again, but this time we are going for Star Wars Imperial Assault. The way I like to describe this game is it's basically Descent 2nd Edition with a Star Wars coat of paint in it. You're taking control of heroes in the rebellion, going through essentially Imperial Assault.
Yeah.
Grab one of the Imperial Assaults, and then there should be a link on there to get you to the base game.
All right. It's a good idea.
Go back up to the top for a second. I saw an expansion for Star Wars Imperial Assault. There should be a link for Imperial Assault there.
I'll just type it in. There we go. Sorry about that.
Took a little bit of fun in games, but we got there. So again, you take control of a series of heroes in the Rebel Alliance, trying to go through the adventures against the Galactic Empire. And the one thing to be aware of is that this one, at least in the modern reimagining, well, maybe not modern reimagining is what I want, but the cooperative game is mostly app driven. So do be aware of that if you get into Star Wars Imperial Assault. My number 60 game on the list, down 40 spots.
I was going to say this one probably fell a little bit for you. What do you think solo wise? A little hard to play solo?
Actually, it's not bad. Well, for me, it's not bad solo wise because I already had so much experience with Mansions of Madness when I got into this one. So I was kind of a bit used to it, even though although the dice system is a little bit different, where you're essentially rolling for your attack, you're rolling for range, you've got character defense to worry about. So there's a little bit to manage, but I wasn't having any problems with it. I think I had more problems recording it a couple of years ago than I did actually playing it.
Okay. Yeah, I figured this one would drop down your list. It's just, again, as you kind of fine tune what you like and what you don't like, it just doesn't seem like a solo great. What's it rated as solo here? But it's 2 to 5, so there is not even an official solo, I guess.
Well, the way I did it is I just play multiple heroes.
Played it two-handed, yeah. So I mean, you got to kind of work against yourself tactically. So that's kind of the one downside, I guess.
Well, it's actually working against the app, remember? So
yeah, well, that's true too. My number 60 is based on a very, very popular board computer game. I'm sorry. And I picked this one up. It is a very expensive game, and it would probably be much higher on my list if I played it more. It's so good. It's a very clean copy of the computer game, and this is a game called Slay the Spire. We were taking on different challenges with different factions, and it's a roguelike game, which means you're progressing, trying to get as far as you can, building up your deck as you go, killing the enemies, and hopefully getting strong enough so at the end you can take on the boss. Ton of stuff to do in this one, a lot of fun things. It is kind of a longer game, as you can see. Like, there's literally like 8 to 10 steps you got to take just to get to the first boss, and then you got 3 bosses to go through. So the reason it's keeping it out of the anything higher than the top 60 is it is a good 2 to 3 hour game, but you're getting a lot of great goodness with that. You're getting a lot of fun. For me, I just do one run, get to the end boss, call it an hour, hour and a half, and call it a game and say thanks. And for me, that's kind of the sweet spot for this one. So it is kind of, modular and you can do whatever you want with it. Really cool game. The factions play differently. Every time you get random environments, you get random cards that you're going to be adding to your deck. You're going to be upgrading cards. So there's quite a bit of nice deck building to go into this one. My number 60 is Slay the Spire.
I imagine there's probably a fair amount of house ruling that goes into starting on Act 2 or 3 in this game, because if you go in with a full level 1 or level 0 deck, essentially, you're going to get your clock cleaned.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, I just like to do one run, take that one run as far as I can, and get to the end of the first boss and call it a day.
Yeah, that's one thing to bear in mind, is that this game doesn't reset very well.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
My number 59 game is actually down on my list as well, down 9 spots. This one is a solo only game, actually, by Van Ryder Games. This one is Hostage Negotiator. Just like it sounds, you're in control of a hostage negotiator against somebody who's taken a bunch of hostages. You're trying to get them released. You've got to manage their demands, the conversation level. Basically, you're trying not to get too many people killed. And the last time I played this game, I discovered I don't have a good future as a hostage negotiator, so it's a good thing I don't get paid for that. Plus, I'm not a people person to begin with, but it is a very thematic game as well. You feel the tension of trying to manage everything in the conversation. But I will say this system is actually implemented for me a bit better later in the list. My number 59 game, Hostage Negotiator.
Yeah, it's definitely on the teetering edge there with this one, and it can be very anticlimactic and can be very exciting at the same time. I did play this one, and kind of like you, bounced off to the other one, as I think most people did, because of the theme was a little bit easier to get into.
Yeah.
My number 59 is an awesome game. The reason it's probably on the list is because there's a digital app that you can play on Steam or on your phone. And it is one of the greatest games ever created in the history of mankind, except for if you got to put it on the table because it's massive. It is Talisman, the 4th edition board game. And yes, when you get all the expansions and everything, you can see it is a sprawling mess, but it is super fun, super interesting story. There is somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 to 90 different characters to play. There is somewhere in the neighborhood of over 5,000 different cards. Somewhere in the neighborhood of like 80 different endings that you can choose. So the variety in this game is amazing. Every time you play it, it's going to be different. There is no official solo mode, so you're just going to be running several characters if you're playing solo. But again, you play it on the app, the computer will run the other characters, and I have a great time with this one. The two downsides: it's a longer game, and it's a scrolling mess when you add in everything. If you just got the one base game without any of the sideboards, it's manageable. But the more you add to it, the more variety you get, the more good stuff you get. But the longer the game takes, and the bigger a mess it can be to kind of fine tune it, as you can see there. My number 59 is Talisman, the 4th edition.
Sprawling mess are not two words I like hearing with a lot of my board games. There are exceptions to that rule, but generally sprawling mess is not something I like to hear.
I mean, you can see what this one here is not that bad. This is just the base game with a couple characters playing and stuff, so it's not super bad. But again, the more you add to it, it can be a mess.
Yeah. Sounds like one for me to probably steer clear of. Anyway, my number 58 game is actually new to my list. And if you remember my 2009-10 hockey season replay, we had one half of that replay. This is the other half of the replay. This is Stratomatic Hockey. Now, this, for me at least, I found that this one played a lot faster than Inside the Crease did, where you've got your actual team players. Yep, there you go. So yeah, you've got your actual teams. Everything is pretty faithfully recreated for me in Stratomatic Hockey. This is probably my top hockey game, especially the play-by-play stuff. One thing that does drive me a little bit crazy, but it's not terrible, is it doesn't have traded players, but I don't really care as much about traded players as I do in my baseball games. But yeah, plays fairly quickly, and you get your outside, inside shots, all of that good stuff. Defense, feel the defense in here. There's a lot of passing options in my number 58 game, Stratomatic Hockey.
Yep, it's a good one for sure. That's why I do think you would like the Stratomatic baseball if you did it and played it and tried it. Speaking of baseball, my number 58 is a baseball game, and I know it's one that you're not a big fan of anymore. And we actually made a trade this year to trade up some of your stuff over to me so I can get more in my collection. And of course, we're talking about APA Pro Baseball. For me, the ability to play basic or advanced gives you variety. If you want a quick game, you can play a basic game. You want more of a narrative driven game, a longer experience, you can play the Master Edition. It is one of these games. The more you play it, the more you learn, the more you know the charts, the more you know the results, the faster it's going to get. I know there are several of my sports simmers out there that play the Master Edition and they fly through the game very quickly because they've played it enough. So, yes, the Master Edition does add a lot of extra overhead and a lot of upkeep. But for me, I enjoy Apple all the way around. I enjoy the cards, the feel, the look. Again, you can play a quick game. You can play a Apple basic game in like 20, 25 minutes. It doesn't take very long at all. And for me, it's still a really, really good game. I know Phoenixknight's not as a big a fan, but that's why there's different games out there for everyone. My number 58 is APA Pro Baseball.
If you followed my channel, you probably know a lot of my feelings on APA Baseball and why I bounced off of this one. So we're not going to rehash that too much here. What we are going to do, though, is move into my number 57 game after I check my laundry timer here. Okay, so that's going to have to go pretty soon. My number 57 is actually up 20 spots, but again, remember what I was saying about the incidental movers. This one is taking us back to the Boss Monster world, but this time is Overboss, a Boss Monster adventure by Brotherwise Game. I think this is by Brotherwise Games. This one actually has you building a dungeon in the game with tile and monster drafting. You'll have a lot of different scoring conditions. And actually, I do really like the insert for this one where it lays out the tiles. You've got a way to keep all of the monsters and such in there. There's various boss modules that you can get into as well. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this game. In my number 57, Overboss, a Boss Monster adventure.
How does it play solo?
Actually, it is mostly a beat. I think it's a beat your own score solo, but it actually plays fairly well as a solo.
Looks pretty good. I've been getting into boss battlers a little bit more, and
this isn't necessarily a boss battler per se. This is more of a dungeon crafter, probably more like a Stone Spine Architects or a Super Boss Monster, which was on my list earlier.
Okay, so this is more of a dungeon one. Okay. Still looks pretty cool. Looks different, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, my number 57. Speaking of adventure games, this is the adventure game. I I believe this might be a crossover with you. We'll see. I know you had played it several times on your channel. I played it several times on my channel. It is a game called Call to Adventure. We are basically going to be creating a randomized hero with different abilities and different stats and different histories and lore and all kinds of cool things on these tarot sized cards. You'll be rolling these weird rune tiles as opposed to dice. And you're going to be trying to progress through chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and try and fill out your character with the best abilities and stats and ratings and stuff to take on the boss at the end. It is just a very interesting game that you're never sure what's going to happen, what's going to come out. Yes, the cards and everything can come out and just kind of just not make a great combination. Then there's other times that all the cards come out and everything is just smooth and silky silky gameplay. It's just a fun, interesting game. Really nice artwork, very quick to play, and very easy to learn and pick up. My number 57 is Call to Adventure.
I'm getting slightly spoilerific, but don't go too far with that link.
All righty.
But I do need to go check laundry, so why don't you take us into your number 56 game?
I will do my number 56, and we'll just check you out on the other side. All right, my number 56 is new to my list this year, brand new. I just actually picked this up from one of my good subscribers, which actually lives like 10 minutes from me. We got together and he was calling some stuff out of his collection. And one of the games that he was trying to find a good home for was a game called Too Many Bones. So I tried it, picked it up. And then I went out and bought all the expansions and everything that he didn't give me because it's a really cool game. This is a dice drafting game, and as you progress, you're going to be adding dice to your different tiles, kind of upgrading your character with different things. Each character comes with their own special set of dice. There's a whole trove of cards that you're going to go through, and it's kind of an adventure as you take your little characters on adventures. There's different characters. They all play differently. There is, tank characters, and there is healing characters, and it's chip theory games. So if you're familiar with chip theory games, it's all about the chips and getting, all the health tokens and all the special pieces, and the production quality is through the roof. And it's just a great game to sit down and play. The adventures can go anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on how long each mission takes you. But so much variety in this game, so many different things to explore, so many different characters. There's so many different things, and for some reason he did that. But lots of good stuff there. Too Many Bones is my number. What are we? 56. There's what we're at. Tons and tons of stuff in this game. Tons and tons, and the production quality through the roof.
I've looked at Too Many Bones off and on. I can't get over the very high price point on this one.
It's a very expensive game, and with all the add-ons and everything, it's
going to run up
like $700.
Yeah, which is making me hesitant to jump in. Anyway, my number 56 game, like yours, is kind of a dice chucker a little bit. And it's actually one that I was introduced to in the wake of looking for something new for Christmas in Arkham. This one is actually Dice Throne by who the hell is it by? Roxley Games, I want to say, but I wouldn't swear to the name.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, Roxley Games. So you've got a variety of characters that you're playing as. You're basically rolling your dice for your attacks. Whatever matches up is the attack that you get to trigger. There are several different modules. You'll get two. Generally, you'll get two in a box unless you buy something like one of the season packs or a Marvel Dice Throne. You'll get 4 in some of those packs. But there's a wide variety of characters. Like you've got, like you can see here, a Barbarian. I know there's a Pyromancer versus Shadow Thief. There's also Dice Throne Adventures that I'm going to look at probably this year. And there's even a module in there of Santa Claus against Krampus for Christmas time. So there's definitely a lot of unique combinations that you can get into with Dice Throne, my number 56 game.
And you got the Seraphim and the Vampire Award, right?
Yeah, I think that was the very first combination I put on the channel, if not one of the first.
Yeah. Yeah, and they all do play different, which is kind of cool with different abilities. And yes, it gives you a lot of variety to learn the game and experiencing, different ways to do it with the different characters and stuff. And I believe there's a solo. You have to buy a special package, but you can go like through a solo adventure type thing as well.
That's Dice Throne Adventures that I'm planning on looking at later this year.
Yeah,
I've just got to figure out some time to do that.
All right, if you want to pick up your next one, and I think we're at 55, right?
Hey, that's what I'm seeing. My number 55 game is actually a crossover that we've got. Normally, I don't go for a lot of push your luck, but it helps when a game is very small for push your luck. I would tend to warm up to that a little bit more. That is Hit Z Road. This was on your list earlier. I think this was on your list
last week. Yep. Last week. Yep.
So yeah, everything that's been said about Hit Z Road basically applies here. You've got your group of you've got your group of players that you're going through with, trying to get from Chicago to Los Angeles, I think it is. You're trying to deal with zombies. You've got your ammunition, your gas, your energy, your adrenaline. And the cards are actually very thematic as well, where there's bits of blood on at least the back sides of the cards. So you have to deal with, so it's a fairly simple, very, very simplistic zombie game, but there's a little bit of strategy, with the various paths on there, because there's one path you know everything about, there's one path you know half of, and there's one you know absolutely nothing about. So there's a little bit of luck there in, okay, do I go for the path that I know about and have to lose more resources? Or do I go for the path that I know nothing about? Or do I go for the path that I know something about? My number 56 and my number 55 game, Hit Z Road.
Yeah, it's just a fun, interesting. You can play it in half hour to an hour and have a good experience, and a little bit of resource management and just trying to, do the best you can with the bad situation you're given. Great game. My number 55, I actually played this with Slower Board Gamer not too long ago on the channel, and I beat him down again. It's just one of his all-time favorite games, and he just can't beat me for some reason. Brass Birmingham. Yeah, baby. Brass Birmingham. It's all about the railroad and getting the coal and getting the ore, and just having a great time playing cards down and managing the area with the different buildings and being the first to build in different territories, and a lot of great things to do in this one as your tough decisions. It still is the number one board game of all time, Brass Birmingham, according to the Board Game Geek people, and it is a great one if you enjoy resource management, you enjoy strategic choices on a map. A lot of really good things in this one. Brass Birmingham, and one of the all-time classic board games out there, and the just beautiful design and really good one.
Not one that's landed in my collection. Not sure it's going to, though. I don't know. It's never really caught my eye in terms of being something that I think I'd play.
It is definitely different. That is for sure.
My number 54 game, remember how I told you not to go too far with that Call to Adventure link?
Yes.
That's showing up here. So we're back to Call to Adventure again.
Wow, we were very close on that one.
We were. I mainly use this game. You mentioned it already, where it's basically writing your story for your heroes, which I've done that with Call to Adventure. And if you've seen some of my streams where I roll up a character for like a D&D or one of my other RPGs, this is what I use to get the backstory, because everything essentially gives you the writing. For me, it gives you all the writing prompts to go through in terms of the story points that you want to hit with your character's backstory. Even down to the boss that they take on, I even work that into the character's backstory. So I'm not going to rehash too much of the mechanics behind my number 54, Call to Adventure.
Yeah, I'm very surprised it was almost equal on our list. That's very interesting. All right, my number 54 is a great hockey game, and probably maybe my favorite hockey game currently, and that is a game called Shootout Hockey. I like the more simplistic games. There's not a lot of images to talk about with this one. It's a very quick playing game. You're basically flipping there we go. We got a few images. You have a team sheet. Maybe if I click on them. Hello. Would you like to? Maybe not.
Try clicking on the name of the link rather than the image itself.
It might be Board Game Geek because it's been in here. Well, anyways, it's a hockey game. You're flipping a card. And it's going to tell you how much time is taken off the clock. Then you're going to find out whether something happened or not. And based on the team's ratings and stuff, you may have a chance of something happening. It's a quick playing game, so there's not it's not like a shot by shot type game. It's not a play by play type game. It's more of like one of those videos you watch after the game is over, and you can you see the whole game in like 10 or 15 minutes. Kind of highlights all the important parts of the game in a very quick aspect. And for me, that's kind of the sweet spot with hockey right now. For me, I don't like playing the 2 or 3 hour hockey games. It's just too much to manage. I can play this game in about 15, 20 minutes and get a pretty good experience of the game and like the highlights of what happened in the game. Shootout Hockey is my number 54 bestest game of all time.
AKA Sports Center Hockey, the board game.
Exactly.
Okay. My number 53 game, admittedly, was a total theme purchase for me back. It was a total theme purchase because it took me on a walk down memory lane into some of my World of Warcraft days with the expansion where I really came into my own as a World of Warcraft player. But it's admittedly down 21 spots on my list. This one is World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King in the Pandemic System. So this was the expansion where I really... Wrath of the Lich King, you just had it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one. So again, this is really this is really a walk down memory lane because, like I said, this is the expansion where I cut my teeth as a World of Warcraft player. And it's not wanting to click for you, is it?
It's spinning again. I don't know. It might be the site. I don't know.
It was taking its sweet time. So admittedly, this might be a game that you really need the connection to the World of Warcraft lore, especially in Wrath of the Lich King, where you've got a lot of your familiar faces. You've got Jaina as a playable character, Thrall, aka Green Jesus, as the old joke goes, Varian's playable. Who else? Oh, I'm trying to think of the Blood Elf Paladin lady, Lady Liadrin. That's who it is. but you'll see a lot of familiar faces in here, along with a lot of familiar settings. The premise of the game is you have to go through 3 quests, or actually 3 dungeons. Essentially, I know there's the Eye of Eternity in this game. There's Naxxramas, Ulduar, Trial of the Champion. But the goal of it is to eventually get into Icecrown Citadel and defeat the Lich King. But you've got to do it with the Scourge harassing you at every turn. It's a pandemic system game, so you'll be able to pick it up pretty quickly if you spend any amount of time playing Pandemic, other than the usual World of Warcraft quirks. In my number 53 game, World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah, it was an interesting idea about going through the dungeons and trying to, spend the cards to kind of flow through those dungeons. And it's kind of the one thing that didn't really inspire me about the game. So I kind of, while I have it and I play it occasionally, it just, it's that extra layer that I didn't think, but and I didn't have a connection with the World of Warcraft, to be honest. So it was different for me. All right, my number 53 is a new game, and I just actually played this just the other day, just a couple days ago on my channel here. And I 99% chance this is going to be a crossover game with you. It's a game called The Guild of Merchant Explorers, which I think is an awesome game. So many cool things to do, and of course, it's not going to load any of the images. Oh, it did. You can play this on Board Game Arena. We actually played this on the channel here with the pieces and the maps and everything. And we actually played it twice in like an hour because it doesn't take very long to play it. Every time you play, it's different because you're going to get random cards. You're going to get random outcomes. You're going to have different. You're going to have to concentrate on different aspects of the game. There's different maps, so each of the maps play differently. There's just a ton of variety in this game, and what a hit surprise for me. This one came out of nowhere. Was it on your channel that I saw this first?
I think it was your channel where I saw it first.
Maybe this is the one I saw first. Maybe I saw it on Board Game Geek and tried it out on Board Game Geek and was like, wow, this is really cool. And yeah, there's a lot of really cool things. Or not Board Game Geek, Board Game Arena, which is awesome adaptation to this game. And it's a great way to learn to play the game. And once you learn how to play the game, there's so many cool things to do in this one. My number 53 is The Guild of Merchant Explorers. Great game, and I bet you it's going to be on your list.
No comment on that. My number 52 game was one of my introductory war games back when I was first getting into wargaming back in ye olde and ancient times of 2023. This one is admittedly, I've kind of gotten away from Hex Encounter a bit, but this one is a Hex Encounter game, and I think it's because it's so small that it really helps me out with being warm to this one. I'm basically putting the whole tank on tank system by lock and load on here. So it's a very simple tactical war game where you've got, just pick the first tank on tank game you see.
Okay.
I'm putting the whole system on the list here in the 52 spot, where you've got you're going against you've got some combination of the Germans, the Americans, and the Soviets in here that you're going against. There's, even with the scenarios that are written in, there's still a lot of variety with the number of points that you can put into a scenario for this one. So there's also a ton of customization options available as well with this one. And like I said, Hex Encounter scares me, but this is small enough that I don't mind it. My number 52 game, the tank on tank system.
Yeah, I mean, try a couple of Hex Encounter games, the smaller ones, I think would be good for you. And there's a lot of variety if you can get over that hump and get to a point where, like Memoir 44 and Commands and Colors and all kinds of different systems that are kind of very hex on hex, but also very, very easy to play as well. So if you can get over that hump with Tank on Tank, maybe you can get on, try other things as well and expand your repertoire because there's a lot of really good games out there that you can try out.
Odds are with me for Hex Encounter, probably Memoir 44 and their ilk. That I expect that to be about as far as I go with Hex Encounter.
Yeah, you got Battle for Hoth, which you enjoy.
I think I have a feeling the theme did a lot of work with Battle of Hoth.
Yeah. I agree. I think it will, and I think there's a game called Space. What's it called? Red. I can't remember, but it's basically memoirs in space. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Gosh. So I mean, yeah. I mean, once you learn the game and you get over the hump, yeah, maybe you can try newer games and just to see because there are probably some ones you might enjoy. My number 52 is another baseball game. It's actually up from 113 last year. It was my number one baseball game a few years ago, and it's kind of fallen because of the base running mechanisms and the fact that they keep changing it from version 2 to version 3, and now they're coming out with version 4, and now they're coming out with a advanced version. I just don't know what they're thinking. I enjoy the inside pitch baseball version 2 the most. And while I think the batter pitcher interface is the best in the business, and I think it's the greatest batter pitcher interface out there, I don't enjoy some of the other aspects of the game, which knocked it down the list for me. The base running has always been a pain in the ass. Um, and then the having to roll the dice every time before the play to find out if something happens with a wild pitch or a hit and run or a steal attempt and things like that. It's always an extra dice roll, which I've never been a big fan of. I still think it's a great, great, awesome, wonderful system. And again, if you can learn the game a little bit better and play it a little bit more, get a little bit more familiar with it, makes it a little bit more better. I know RJL plays this on his channel and he's got it inside and out because he's played enough games now. I don't play it enough to know, like, oh, if I hit a G6 and I can move this runner from this, and it's a -1 to his run rating. For me, it's just all that extra work to drags the game down and takes away from the greatest pitcher batter interface in any game system. But it's still a great game, inside pitch baseball.
The base running for me in inside pitch was definitely a pain point. But ever since Chris Davis came out with the new alternate running charts that actually use the same 2D6 system that you get in the result on the pitcher or the batter card, or potentially the ballpark, you can actually get the base running a lot more easily with that, because all you do is you roll your dice and that gives you what happens on the base paths with the other runners.
Well, maybe that's something I will have to check out and see. And you know what? We forgot to bring up and show everyone Viper Dave is in the house. Graduated in 1984, so you're not old. Yes, I graduated in 1984 myself, Viper.
I was born in 1985.
Thomas Harkless. Solo Board Gaming Night, what's going on? Philip Reynolds. Troy Sawyer likes to tank on tank games.
Probably the more of the top 100 series, but
All right, sorry about that, guys. I didn't have the chat up, so I apologize if you're got your post a little bit late there. And thank you all for joining us tonight. And hopefully, you guys are enjoying our look. We have one more game to talk about.
we do indeed. And my number 51 is another visit from Play Games, probably my number one golf game at this point. My number 51 game is History Maker Golf by Play Games. Rather than being a shot-by-shot game, this one's actually a hole-by-hole, and you feel a difference in each hole. There's not as much. It's not as much thinky as something like an app of golf or a. It's not as much a thinky game as app of golf or an ASG golf, something like that. And I really feel, again, here's gonna be the N word again, narrative coming through, and we've got a server error. Hold on, let me see if my screen gives us any better luck. Nope, mine appears to be taking its sweet time too, so maybe it is BGG.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's just having some issues.
So maybe what you can do instead is if you go to play.com
Yeah,
and grab History Maker Golf.
I can do that.
Yeah, right there, History Maker Golf. So instead of being shot by shot necessarily, this one is more of a hole by hole resolution. All kinds of courses. You've got your various modules here as well, where you also have a tournament module in here if you want to play an entire tournament. I've never been able to make that work though. And this one focuses more on the traits of the golfers than necessarily their stats, than in getting a whole card like you've got in APA for all of your shots. But I definitely enjoy it. You've got the feel of the course, the performance chips, depending on how well or how poorly a player is doing, that will affect their day as well. In my number 51 game, History Maker Golf by Play Games.
Yeah, I was looking to get some more information, but it looks like they're not giving out too much right now. Oh well. All right, my last one on the list for tonight is a deluxe edition of a game that was re-released by GMT Games, and it is a game called Fields of Fire Deluxe Edition. I actually went through and played through there are 5 or 6 tutorial scenarios on how to play and like a programming how to play type game, and I did all news on the channel this year, and we had a great time learning the game and the system. And it really got me into Fields of Fire a little bit more than I ever was in the past. The new deluxe edition adds several things that the game needed to kind of teach you how to play. It needed a kind of a complete overhaul, which is what GMT did with the deluxe edition, and kind of fine tuned it and made it a manageable game to not expect people to learn how to play the game, but rather teach the people how to play the game. And so that's what this deluxe edition did for me. It's really kind of helped me learn the game and learn how to play and what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing and how I should look at things and how I shouldn't look at things. It's still not a perfect game. There's still some quirks and some issues and some outlying questions that you're never 100% sure about. But I enjoy the fact that it's a solo game. I enjoy the fact that it's always different. It's always random. You're never sure what's going to happen. And there are tons and tons of variety, tons and tons of things to experience with the game. My number 51 is Fields of Fire Deluxe Edition.
Interesting.
It is a beast, I will say that. So it's you're putting cards on the table which are going to represent your terrain, and you're going to try to make it whatever you're trying to get to. You have different staging areas. It can be a lot, but it can also be super good and super fun. So let's go ahead and rehash one more time for those people that were just joining us and missed maybe the intro. My number 60 is a new game to the list called Slay the Spire, based on a computer game.
Mine was Star Wars Imperial Assault by Fantasy Flight.
My number 59 was Talisman, the revised 4th edition.
My number 59 was Hostage Negotiator.
My number 58 was Apra Pro Baseball.
Mine was Stratomatic Hockey.
My number 57 was Call to Adventure.
My number 57 was Overboss, a Boss Monster Adventure.
My number 56 was Too Many Bones, new to the list this year.
Mine was Dice Throne.
My number 55 was the number one board game of all time, Brass Birmingham.
My number 55 was Hit Z Road.
My number 54 is probably my favorite hockey game currently, Shootout Hockey.
My number 54 is Call to Adventure.
My number 53 is a brand new game, wonderful design, Guild of Merchant Explorers.
My number 53 is World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, the board game.
My number 52 is Inside Pitch Baseball. Is it my highest rated baseball game?
I'd be willing to bet not. My number 52 is Tank on Tank, the whole Tank on Tank system.
And my number 51 is Fields of Fire Deluxe Edition by GMT, new to the list this year.
My number 51 is also new to the list, History Maker Golf by Play Games.
Well, there you go. We are officially, Phoenix, halfway done with our list, believe it or not.
We are indeed.
We've let's see here. We are, stop sharing. There we go. We have completed 100 down to 51. So we have half of our games are done. And obviously Sunday we'll be doing number 50 down to 41.
Yep.
And of course, the lower we go, the better the game, the more to talk about, the more things to say, and the better the game is for us. So it should be even a better time to talk about them.
Indeed.
So we want to thank everyone for coming out. Viper Dave and Thomas Harkless, Solo Board Gaming Night, Philip Reynolds, Troy Sawyer, and everyone else that stopped out tonight. Again, if you guys enjoy the games that we're talking about, or we have any questions about anything, leave a comment down below so we can talk about it in the next episode. What do you got coming up on your channel this week, Phoenix?
Oh, I'm going to be busy on the channel this week. Tomorrow night, we're continuing my 2001 season replay, baseball season replay, and payoff pitch baseball, as we're headed to Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California, for a National League West matchup and a replay that is completely drunk off its ass, let's be honest, as the Los Angeles Dodgers are playing the San Diego Chargers. Saturday, Mystical Monday.
What is the date of that game?
June 28th, 2001.
June 28th, so you're not even to the halfway point yet.
No, I'm not even to the All-Star break yet, but I will be finishing June with this next block. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will finish out of the official Frozen Cookbook as we make the drink, Apple Cider Worth Melting For. Sunday morning, we're going to start me on a little bit of a dungeon crawl kick as we play 4 Against Darkness by Ganesha Games. I should also mention on Saturday night, we are going to have Pinot with Phoenix for January 2026. Then Wednesday, we'll be continuing the 2001 season replay. More on that during Monday night's 7th inning stretch. What about you? What have you got coming up over here?
Well, I've got my end of review show coming up, just like you, on Saturday. Obviously, tomorrow night, I'm supposed to be getting together with Slower Board Gaming, as we have decided to kind of every month to play a game together and do some stuff online. I will say right now that is still officially going on, but I have been under the weather the last couple days. It's been a couple trying weeks here. I was sick for a couple weeks, and I had a really bad case of the gout, and I had to go to the emergency room. And now, unfortunately, I think I have the flu because I like literally have got two sweatshirts on, and I still can't get warm. So as of right now, we will still be playing something tomorrow night, and I'm really hoping to get together with them and play. But if something happens and I can't, then we won't. Then, of course, Saturday night, we're going to have our end of review show for the month of January and talk about all the awesome stuff we did in January. And then, of course, on Sunday, there's a little show that we got coming up called the Top 100 Board Games of All Time show at 8 o'clock here on the channel. So, yeah, it's going to be busy for myself. Normally, I don't schedule things as much as you, but I do enjoy 2026. I said I'm going to start scheduling some things, and I'm going to announce this now, and I'm going to talk about it again. One of my other goals was to create a schedule like you. I'm using you as a base to inspire me to do things on a regular schedule. So I am going to be bringing back a show that I did with Herman Lutman a couple years ago. I'm not sure the title of it is probably going to be called something like War Game Wednesday, where me and Herman would get together, we would talk about a subject, and then we would play a war game every Wednesday. We did that for about, I don't know, 10 or 12, 15 episodes, and we had a great time. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to expand that, and I'm going to have a War Game Wednesday, and I'm going to invite yourself and Cardboard Commander and Tony and Nate and Wardrobe and have a little conversation and then play a little war game with them every Wednesday. So it's going to be called something like War Game Wednesday or Wargaming on Wednesday or something like that, which will be coming up sometime in the near future. What do you think of that?
Well, I'd be warmer to participating on that show if Wednesday wasn't already one of my streaming nights over here.
I will wait until you're out of your blocking and
No, even with the replays, Wednesday is one of my scheduled nights.
you can switch. For me, I'm sure you can. I'm almost positive you will do it. For me, you will. You love me.
It's also one of my shorter nights though, so scheduling there might even be a little.
I know. I am not expecting you there all the time. Don't worry. It's okay. You don't have to commit more than once a year. Okay. Once a year is all I'm asking for. So, again, dates, times, whatever to be altered. I'm just coming up with ideas at this point, and maybe it's my sickness talking. I don't know, but I think it'll be fun to hang out and do a nice show. And since I'm not on the War Room anymore, I thought it'd be a way to kind of force myself into playing more war games because, as we talked about, 2025 wargaming took a big drop because I didn't have that many people playing with me and losing interest with the War Room and having that whole experience. So hopefully this will like reinvigorate and kind of bring that aspect of the hobby back into my life a little bit more. You need that sometimes.
Yeah.
So lots coming up on your channel, lots coming up on my channel. The main thing is we're going to be back together on Sunday at 8 o'clock to talk about some more great board games, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to your other stuff as well.
Well, that's keeping me plenty busy.
For sure. So everyone out there, have a wonderful week. I'm again. We'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow night here on the channel, and me and Norris Thor will be playing something. If not, I apologize ahead of time, but I've been having some issues, and I'm hoping to just get over this, and we'll see how it goes. So everyone, thanks so much for coming out tonight, and we'll see you guys soon. And we'll see you guys on Sunday, right?
Indeed.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful night.